Okay, time now for the good news segment right here on the Africa Daily Show. Stay with me.
Good news.
Good news.
Good news.
Good news.
Do you know how to do a Nigerian intro? Like when they're doing the Nigerian films and then they come to make some announcement or something.
I don't get it.
Those sounds they make. That doesn't sound Nigerian. What are they doing?
I'm trying to like make an intro for a movie.
Do something
like a
African,
trailer.
local. What is...
The movie don't land though.
Which
Now
movie?
part 1 and part 2.
It's okay, just stop.
Emeka Ike, they love Genevieve in Nigeria. Hey, she know they like her. My papa say make you know what.
It's okay, no, just relax. It's
I
okay.
tried.
Yeah, you tried, but just stop. Okay, so Nigerians.
Okay.
You don't turn out say some Niger people
Okay.
don't criticize one British clothing firm for England
Oh.
sake of the people don't trademark the word Yoruba.
Okay. You try speaking the Nigerian broken, but you made a little bit of twist. Sake of is not Nigerian.
Yeah, I know.
Because of.
I'm still trying my best. So
Because-
as much as you get the
So
flow with
the
it.
Nigerian people, they don't criticize the, what's it call them? The
British clothing firm, they call themselves the Timbuktu Global. It's based in northwest England.
No, Timbuktu is even on that. It's like the Malian thing, right?
So, it's like they just have picked across Africa, put it together, and then... So the people actually filed papers to
Okay.
trademark Yoruba.
Yoruba.
Yes, I mean, they filed their papers to trademark the word Yoruba with the UK's Intellectual Property Office in the year 2015.
How did they do it? Why would they even do that? In the
No,
first
sometimes
place?
when you do that, so you prevent other companies, other people. You know, but here in Africa, trademark is not really much of a big deal.
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
There
kinda
was
thing.
something like somebody was trying to trademark Blue Ivy.
Jay-Z's daughter.
Jay-Z, you realize that Jay-Z and Beyonce are trademarking Blue Ivy's name and everything that has to, they have trademarked her name.
Yeah.
So you can't necessarily use Blue Ivy or Ivy Sean Carter or anything in any of your businesses. And they had an issue with somebody who was saying they'll conflict with that kind of a thing, but they took it through court and then they won the case. So they trademark it. You can't have any other company use it. So then wherever you find that word, it's actually linked directly to them.
Yeah, but the okay.
So
I don't even get it. So the company's name, whatever they producing, is it called Yoruba?
no, it's actually the fabric. It's a clothing line.
Okay.
So I think they're giving one of the clothes the name under the
Yoruba.
Yoruba kind of this thing. So it's like when you type or search for it,
Uh-huh.
then they are the ones that when you find them, because
Oh.
trademarks
There's a-
work very well over there. It takes you directly
There's
to
an
the source.
influence on even the search engine. How
Exactly.
it brings it.
It's
yeah,
not
yeah.
here that you type for one word, you get like 150 options of different people. You can't tell directly who the source is.
Yeah. So are they suing them or just criticizing?
No, they criticized them on Twitter. You know, they did this in 2015 and people didn't know about it. But then it
Okay.
actually came to light this Sunday when we have Bemi Sola Isimi.
Okay.
Now, she's the owner of a cultural organization, in London. And she was actually challenged by the company, which is Timbuktu Global. Yes. After she tried to trademark the phrase Yoruba stars.
Okay.
Now, what she is doing with that, it's a program that she runs and she teaches parents, children, and toddlers the Yoruba language
Right.
over there.
Okay.
You understand? So when she went, then it was like, oh, these people have the... Then everything came to light. And it was like a battle between both of them. So she said that first off, Timbuktu Global actually opposed her use of the word Yoruba before they later proposed that if she wants to use the Yoruba word, she has to purchase it off them because they have trademarked it.
Too bad.
So indirectly, it's for them.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Shabi, it is not even here you are coming from.
Yeah.
So you have taken what is ours.
Unfortunately.
And
This is
then
deeper than it
actually is.
You know?
And for her, she feels like this is the height of cultural appropriation because like it's gone like above.
Yeah, exactly.
As much as you want
yeah.
to pick the things that are ours and represent them in a light and make them look nice. Look, it's one thing you pick it good, you respect it, and then you just
At least
point back
give
at where,
credits.
yes, give credit where it's coming
yeah.
from. But you take it and want to make it your own,
And you want to
and still
prevent
disregard.
someone. So are they saying that
Don't
someone in
bring that.
Nigeria decides to call his company Yoruba company, he cannot do that? Is that the case?
No, but this, I mean, she is
Or
there
is it
in
because it's
London.
in the UK?
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
okay, yeah, I get
She
that.
is there, but
I never
here,
with the Timbuktu global thing. It's a
even me,
UK.
that's name. I think even
Timbuktu?
they themselves, they should be taken to the court for it. Where did they get their Timbuktu from?
I mean,
Do we have Timbuktu in the UK?
no, we don't.
So
I mean, everybody
and
knows where Timbuktu is.
So why do they have it as part of their name?
So, like I said, that's where the intellectual property thing and this and that, everything comes inside. But like I said, it's not bad to appreciate or use someone's name in doing
But
stuff. But
trademarking
you
a
need
word that
to-
does not even originate
From
from
you,
you
yeah.
is something that,
Yeah.
and this is a word that it stands for different things for a lot of people. This is a word that represents. This is not just
Oh,
a
yeah,
word. This
it goes
is
beyond, yeah.
power. This is something that means so much to people here on the continent, and you want to go and put it on paper and say it belongs to you. So unfortunately for them, Miss Isimi actually took to Twitter and she
Okay.
put it out there that, look, this is the height of cultural appropriation. I don't think this should actually be happening. So
Yeah.
already the UK's intellectual property, the office said they are making decisions based on the existing laws and that the public can challenge the validity
Oh,
of
yeah.
the trademark.
They should.
Yeah.
You can't just pick and say, so nobody can use Yoruba again.
Well,
Are you okay?
after all the bashing that people received,
Yeah.
they have actually shut down their website.
They have to, because Charlie, Yoruba is not just a
They have
joke.
closed down their Twitter, their Instagram accounts.
They should change something or give credits. That's it. Simple. You want
And
to
I
own
think
it.
the good thing about is the fact that she was able to stand after it. She didn't actually go back
that is great.
and after
yeah.
she actually did that, the people have filed, and Timbuktu Global have actually sent her an email. They filed an application
Right.
to surrender the Yoruba trademark
course you have to.
registration because
It belongs to us.
Look,
It's our own.
we're not against the fact that you see what we
No,
have
it's
here and you
okay.
like it. If you
Appreciate
like
it.
it, appreciate it, but then don't forget where it's coming from. But don't try and covet it.
And use documentations and legal terminologies and blah blah.
It's like
no,
anything they do you.
it's not happening.
I'm really like happy she's, and then when she,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
Twitter tweets like, see, there's some cases you don't take to Instagram or Facebook, just take it to Twitter.
Yeah, you get people who just jump, pounce on it. You know,
The way
with
the
the
people will
claws and all.
come, I'm just happy.
Yeah,
I'm just happy.
yeah.
So at least this is gonna be like the first to also show to other places. I'm sure
Oh,
the
yeah,
other
there are
organizations are
other
probably
things,
are
yeah.
doing things like this, but then probably it's not because it's not come to light or nobody has actually stood up to them to let them know, no, you can't do this or this is not okay. So I feel this is a major victory.
Right.
And we hope to see more of such things.
Yep.
We should get to the
definitely.
place where if you have braids,
Mm.
you can say this is this type of braid or that type of braid and it's coming from A, B, C.
Yeah.
Not that you take it and go and give it your own name and assume that once you've taken and given your name, then it is now yours.
Trademark it. Anyway,
Something they do you.
good one, Bemi. And of course, keep the fire burning. Well, what's next?
Have,
Yeah.
you ever been to a cave? Have you ever?
A cave? No. I've never been to a cave. I've never been to a space where caves. You know, where there are caves actually. So no, I've never been to a cave before.
Really?
So what's up with cave here?
No excursion to a place that.
No, not really. So what's
That's
happening
wild.
here?
Well, somebody's fascination with caves has actually led the person
Mm-hmm.
to the world stage.
Okay, tell us about it.
So this is from Kenya. Now, Cave Bureau, that's what they call themselves. They're making their debut at Venice. And they're doing this by exploring the cultural significance of humans' earliest forms of shelter. And we're talking about caves.
Okay. Wow.
So we look at the fact that, I mean, from way beyond past, people actually used to live in caves. I don't know if you ever did that in social studies.
I've read a couple.
Was it
I've seen movies and ancient movies and stuff.
Yeah, I
and
think it was social studies that we actually studied. No,
I can't remember, but I know
No, it's not history.
I know it's something that
Maybe
I've
saying
seen
science.
and
I don't
read.
think it's science.
I can't actually pinpoint which particular
The
subjects.
subjects, yeah, but I know they taught
I know
us.
people used to live in caves
Yeah.
back in the day.
They
yes.
taught us about that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So he is actually doing a showcase. It's an art showcase. And
Okay.
I mean, even with that, I think it's good. Now he's using things that are coming straight from Kenya. So when
Okay.
when I say things that are coming straight from Kenya, we're looking at like the stones that he's actually using to make the art piece is
Right.
coming from Kenya. I don't know if you've heard of the obsidian stone. I have read a book that was called The Obsidian Butterfly.
Okay.
Yes, and it was a good book. But he's using stones, he's using trees. Everything was shipped directly
From Kenya. Wow.
Yes.
I love that.
Yes, that goes a long way to tell you that look, he's trying to make the thing as original as it
Yeah,
needs.
and
Yes.
I think like a message like this piece can only be gotten from Kenya.
Yes.
You
Now
know, yeah.
there's something we should have done. There's something we should have done. Okay,
What?
fine. So I'll just do it quickly. But then what he's doing is a piece of art, and he's actually exploring. He was fascinated as a child
Okay.
with the artwork, with the way people, you go and look in a cave, and as much as it's good, it's also scary because you don't know what it contains, you don't know where it's
Yeah.
going to lead you, or any of those sorts of things. So he actually used to check that, and he used to feel that look, people did well living in these places. So it was one of his most profound experiences as a child, and now he's having a special exhibition
Okay.
where he's actually creating. He calls it the Cave Bureau.
Right.
Yes, the Cave Bureau. And they're using 1,600 obsidian stones, which was gathered from Gilgil in Kenya. And they're going to hang it at precise heights
Okay.
in the museum. So, and then the timber, they have made something like a timber and net structure. So it's
Right.
going to just replicate a section of the roof.
Uh-huh.
Yes, for them. And all those is like, there's something we call the Mbai Caves. It's on the outskirts of Nairobi.
Right.
Those are the caves that he used to know, and he was fascinated. And he's trying to just replicate the way the roof used to be over there in a museum. He's using the stones and then the wood net structure to create that. And everything is coming from Kenya.
Kenya.
Yes.
Wow.
They're
Okay.
actually from an African cedar tree.
Nice.
Now, one thing he said when he was actually asked to take part in it, he was surprised. Because to him, he was just doing something that makes him happy, something
right.
that fascinates him. But then it was a beautiful thing for the people. And caves, when it comes to Kenyan history, caves are like an important thing, especially looking at the Mau Mau fighters in 1950s. Mostly they would gather there and then they would hide there. Some of them too went to regroup after they had clashes with the British forces in Nairobi. So it was like a place of deep contemplation for him because his name is Mr. Karanja. Sorry, I didn't mention his name is Mr. Karanja.
Okay.
And he believed that if after we go and fight and we lose people and we come back to the caves, that's when we have to grieve over those we've lost, quickly collect ourselves back together and know what our next line of action is or how we're going to face this again. Because for resistance fighters, they needed to be able to keep moving on. So they had to stay in places where they could contemplate deeply on these issues, and that is what the caves served as. You understand?
Okay.
Yes, that's what he actually saw it to be. So for him, it was like a space of progress. Yes, so that is why he tried to replicate it.
All right.
So the Cave Bureau is also doing a separate collaboration for the Buy Now with the Kenyan photographer Osborne Makaria. He's now based in Canada in the Arsenal section. Now the firm's work over the last years has fallen under Caroline F. Strauss, who is the founder and director of Slow Research Lab. They call it a new wave when it comes to architecture. So instead of building the next skyscraper, these architects actually focus more on the exploratory and theoretical. Yeah. And I feel this is good. I mean, for Mr. Strauss, he said that the deposit of the cave is like a space of reflection for him. It's like a very good thing. When you actually see the way it's actually being done, you realize that it's a beautiful thing. And it's a lot of work. A lot of effort has actually been put into it. I'm just trying to see if we can actually put it on the screens for our people to see. But it's super important that we all love where we come from. One thing I just want to pick from this story is the fact that, look, it could be the slightest thing, but how you portray it,
Yeah.
how you see it, how you actually put it out there may be different from somebody who is doing who's just watching you or who's just thinking, oh, this is it. He could probably have said, oh, maybe close to my hometown there were caves and they did this, and that was the end of it. But when he actually did portray it in his own artistic way, he realized that it got the people interested. And now he's actually been able to go onto the world stage. So I think AB will be able to portrayed on the screens for you. But I think that's a good news we have.
Yeah.
Yes, that's a good news we have, and I believe everybody who is out there who has something should be able to put it out there. They should check.
Oh.
And don't lose sight of where you're coming from.
All right.
A cave is not much to I don't want to say write home about, but
Something that you can portray out there in like you said, in your own artistic way, just like he did. All right, that's all we have for the good news segments. The show
Yeah.
is Africa Daily on Africa Global Radio.